Hello and welcome to the show. I am back today on Spintires MudRunner. Has been an awful long time since I've had a go with this game, but the American Wilds DLC has just recently come out, so seems like a good time to try it again. I'm playing one of the new maps. We are playing Mount Logmore, and I'm going to go on a little bit of an explore. We're going to go and try and get all of the different watch points, essentially, around here. I've got a couple of vehicles to be having a go with. The new Hummer H1, that is fantastic. I've driven a little bit with this already, and it is quickly becoming one of my favourite vehicles on the game. It's great at exploring. It is absolutely fantastic at exploring. I don't think I want to go that way, really, do I? There's no real good reason, no real reason, in fact, to go that way, so let's not. Yeah, this is a fantastic vehicle for exploring, and we have got the, was it Skidder, I think it was called, as the other vehicle. I have to start with K840 Skidder. Yeah, this thing is mean looking. I don't quite know what the push blade is for as such. I haven't figured out a use for it. I mean, maybe getting stuff unstuck or doing a little dance with your own vehicle. But I guess we're going to find out. We'll have a play around with that in a, in a little while. We'll turn that off. Let's go and jump back into the Hummer. I mean, this will probably be more than capable of doing all of the watch points on its own. It's perhaps one of the most drivable vehicles. I say drivable vehicles. When you start going quick, not that you go quick very often, when you do start going quick, often trucks can kind of get away from you, shall we say. You kind of get sort of tank slappers. They can get a little bit squirrely, and rather sillily, you manage to lose control and do so. Or I do. If you don't play this game regularly, they're a little bit interesting to drive, especially some of the bigger vehicles. The Hummer, though, is easily the most controllable, and you will find yourself on tarmac roads a little bit more with this DLC. The two maps I played, I went around all the watch points on the first map. I can't remember what it's called now, but I went around all the watchtowers on that to just kind of get a feel for the map, and that had plenty of tarmac roads, and this one looks like, and from the brief look at the map I've had, looks like we're probably going to have, again, a little bit more in the way of the tarmac stuff. Or you can still lose control of the vehicle. I mean, I've just done that whole thing and still in rear-wheel drive, and the Hummer's not had any issues whatsoever. Shall we? Let's go have a look at the map. Shall we do? Let's go down. We'll go down to that watch point over there. We'll go down to that way, and then we will see about getting the Skidder for some of the later ones. The watchtowers are a fair way off the beaten path, shall we say, from experience. In fact, there's one over there. Ooh, we got to deal with water. I don't like dealing with water. I'm really, really good at getting trucks sunk and very stuck. And there's not got much help. I guess we can get the Skidder and push this out. Whoa, that was a bigger drop than I thought it was. Well done, Hummer. You have dealt with everything that we might need you to deal with there. Let's go put you in all-wheel drive. We'll probably want diff locks on as well, actually. Let's go and do that straight away. What would be a sensible idea is... Okay, that's not as deep as I was fearing it was going to be. Yeah, put the diff lock on, go nice and slowly. Don't dig yourself into a hole. It's very easy out here to try and go a bit too quick, what I'm bad for. Go a bit too fast, spin your wheels, dig yourself into a big old hole, and then get stuck. And with no way of winching the vehicle out once you're by this little island, yeah, probably not a good idea. So, let's not do that one. There we go. We got the first of the navigational points. It always looks like the map always looks bigger than it actually is when you're on this view. Mainly because I say it always looks bigger. Like the distance, from where you can see the vague size of my truck or whatever. But the distance around here is not too bad. It's just how slow it takes you to go, because you've got to, be careful and everything. We might be able to jump across. We still go straight. Might be able to just shortcut our way across over here. Although being a smaller vehicle, and I know it's rare where you say a Hummer is a smaller and lighter vehicle. But in this game terms, this is a smaller and lighter vehicle. You know what? I'm not even going to risk it. It's not worth it, because that is just asking. If I had a much larger, the Skidder would get through there, no problem at all. But I don't need to risk it with the Hummer. Instead, what we can do, I'll tell you what we can do. We can go through these reeds, because this Oh, still a little bit dangerous water level over there. Come on, truck. Come on. You're fine. And then there we go, we're at the other side. Yeah, it's weird saying the Hummer is a small and light vehicle, but in comparison to a lot of the stuff in this game, that is very, very much the case. You know, that big skidder is going to be incredibly heavy. Some of the big trucks can actually get into quite a lot of trouble in water and so on, just by digging themselves into a big hole if you aren't careful. And the Hummer is, yeah, better prepared for all of this. Let's go. Oh, come on. We'll put it back in automatic, because I don't actually need to worry. This is much more kind of compacted dirt that we're driving on here. There is still little bits of mud, like the stuff we're coming up against here, but we can get through that. A helpful trick that I have found is don't actually drive on the path. I know it sounds weird, but don't drive on the road. Drive slightly to the left or the right of it, because out here you tend to get, you know, the more compact dirt where there's actually grip, whereas the trail itself is often dug up by other vehicles and is just covered in mud. So you're actually better off not going on the, you know, set path and all that. I know it's a little bit strange, but you know, that's just how it is. I will say, so far both of these maps that I have played on are less muddy than I have seen, I say traditionally, in some of the other maps. Yeah, these are less muddy than stuff that I have come across elsewhere. That is a big heavy vehicle. Oh, the Ford looks like it's got a big old scratch on the bonnet. Shall we? You know what? Let's just for a little bit of variety, shall we go grab the Ford, see how this does? Because this is a little bit damaged to begin with. Doesn't have, it's got more than enough fuel. I'm playing this on the hardcore mode, so the trucks, when they are damaged, they are a little bit, they're a little bit more difficult to steer. The engines does do a little bit of power. I don't know at this level if it's too much, but it is just something to be aware of, basically. But tarmac road for us here, not too much of a problem. Oh, let's put it back into all-wheel drive. You've got a little bit stuck going on the slightly muddy path. I don't think this is as good as the Hummer, but it's nice to have an F-150 in the game if that's your thing. Ooh, we've got to go to the inside somewhere. I'm hoping to find a path, although a lot of these checkpoints are very much a case of, well, there it is. Found the watchtower. How do we get to it? So that looks like quite a sheer rock face. We might be good to go, though. Let's just go first gear, diff locks on, and climb. Why did that go red? Don't know. Not sure why it went. Right, oh, is that a watchtower? Or is that just another building? Have I ballsed this one up immediately? No, I think that's the watchtower. It's just coming at it from a funky angle. Yes, it is a watchtower. It's coming at it at a very interesting, peculiar angle over here. Whoa! Careful! Let's maybe back that one up a little bit. Back that up. Come on. Come on. Just twist around slightly. I think I'd rather go straight up if I can, and then straighten out. You don't want to be on a hill sideways. That's how you roll over. Oh, that log actually helped us. Yeah, I'd rather go up this way and then try. It's a little bit risky. That's not quite going where I wanted it to. I mean, I guess. Nope, I'm doing all manners of bad. All manners of bad things are occurring here. Whoa! I mean, if I crash into the thing, we should be able to go underneath it. Oh no, there's an invisible wall. No, invisible wall. Don't you do this to me. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. My grand plan didn't quite work out. Truck, can you do like a little pirouette? This is really dangerous. This is very dangerous. Oh. I don't have many options. There we go. We're fine. We're a little bit wedged in places on stuff. I think the diffs are getting unhappy because I'm running it on, well, I'm running it on stone actually rather than off-road. If you run it for too long with the diff locks on concrete or on tarmac, it gets unhappy with you. We are quite stuck out there. I would probably been better off, there was a path, I would probably been better off following said path, let's be honest. Can we dig our way free? We can, over there. Of the maps, of the kind of exploring I've done, whoa, we're not really on hard surfaces game. I was expecting it to just clonk. I guess we're on harder surface. What building's that? Oh, we're actually heading back I've got turned around and I'm heading back completely the wrong way. Well, you know what? Let's go get the big truck. I might as well experiment with all of the vehicles that the game has to offer. This is a little sketchy, but I can just teleport my way to the vehicle if I want. But seeing as we're pointing in the right direction, let's just crash our way down the hill to grab it. And boop, out of the way. Whoa, and another boop. Not bad. Not bad for the F100. There is a tree in the bed of the truck or something, but we have made it. Right, change truck, Western Star with lots of fuel. Lots of fuel, a little bit of damage done to it, and we want to... Oh, let's go on the tarmac. We're giving the vehicles a good test on tarmac, see what their controllability is like, and a little bit of off-roading. just a little, just a smidge of off-road. It's kind of strange having a large amount of tarmac. Whoop, there's a signpost in the way there. Let's not hit into that. This is not likely to be massively fast. Fairly controllable, though. Well, actually, pretty good. And I haven't put the all-wheel drive on. That does tend to make them a little bit more unwieldy. But I am impressed. I'm actually more impressed with this than I thought I was going to be. Because it's normally the bigger the truck, the worse they get for wiggling around. Oh, I've kind of steered a bit too much. Right, so we want to go up that path. Now, the concern, of course, using this to go and explore, it's very large. When it comes to trying to cut your way through the trees, when it comes to trying to find your way to the actual specific waypoint, this might have trouble. Although it is going to have a good amount of torque and, you know, hopefully a lot of traction. We can stick the diff locks on when needed. I don't think we actually need them at the moment. You can stick a foot down and go, perhaps, out of here. A little bit of spinning from one of the wheels, but nothing too bad. Where is the checkpoint? That's the question. Or the watchtower. Is there looks like there's a big old bridge up there. Maybe we do need to put this into a lower gear. Give it some diff locks. And should be good. Yeah, there's a bridge. Oh, another tarmac road. Don't know if I really want to be on this part, but, you know, we're here now. Oh, that's fine. Don't clonk my nose onto the floor. Oh, it's got the little, wiggly posts to tell you where the sides and front of the truck are. Which I guess is good if you're playing from first-person view, which I don't remember how to get to. There we go. Oh, you can just about see the wiggly posts. Can't see that side one. That one's a little bit useless. Yeah, if you want to drive from first-person view, of course. It's not so good for kind of filming, so you don't really see much of what's going on. So I tend not to drive too much. One of the few games that I don't tend to drive a huge amount from first person. The camera's always a little fiddly to kind of operate to see everything that's going on. I'm missing the waypoint by a mile as well. Actually, it's even further in. Where the bloody hell is it? Somewhere over that way. I guess we follow this road around, maybe? Can't imagine there's... I can't get this truck through the woodland there. The truck's just not going to go through the woodland parts there. So we'll have to... unless up there, maybe. That... yeah, that's where we're going to have to go. It's fine. It actually doesn't look too muddy. So we might get away with just kind of powering through. The entrance bay is a little muddy. We'll have some spinning. I could just... I'm not even really having to worry too much about the diffs. I can just kind of... provided I'm not a complete and utter moron with the throttle, and this is coming from me, who is not exactly a delicate driver in terms of off-roading, these vehicles are more than capable. I think this is it's a fairly easy map for exploring, of course. When you've got a truck with a trailer where you've got all the logs on the things, then life does get a little bit tougher. However, general exploring-wise, this isn't too bad. There's just there's less mud. That's not a bad thing as such. Sometimes some of the maps where you've just got to crawl along a basic road for 20 minutes because it's just thick mud constantly, that gets a little tiresome after a while, not going to lie. Some people will certainly enjoy the very, very slow, methodical progress. I do tend to get a little bit bored on some of those maps. I do prefer a little bit faster paced maps. Won't be for everybody, but yeah, this is certainly a little bit less extreme in terms of the off-roading. Oh, I spot where we're going. Can we I need to get some diff locks on probably, because I have to try and make this turn. Mind the tree, although we'll probably crash through the tree, let's face it. And climb, 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 climb. Should have the power to do this. And we can boop that tree out of the way if it's if it's threatening us. You stand no chance against this thing. Well, careful. And don't get stuck there now. Not after you've got this far. There's a little bit of overhang at the front that's not ideal, but we'll clear it. Hey! Navigational point completed. I'll just climb up here because I can. We will abandon truck on the hill, and then there's one more bit to go and get over there, which we are going to use the skidder for because it looks fun, and I might be able to find a use for the for the front plough. Now these, well, it's not the first to have, I guess, articulation. Oh god, these are difficult to take any sort of speed anywhere, really. Pretty extreme in terms of off-road capabilities. I mean, look at it. It's a pretty immense vehicle. I will be honest, in terms of new vehicles, I like the little cars. The medium-sized trucks, things like this, aren't massively different. They're nothing really massively game-changing from this DLC. Like, it's fun and everything to have more trucks, more vehicles in general. There's not massive game-changing vehicles. I mean, this thing is cool. I don't know if it's really got much. I mean, it's slightly different to the other. We've got like a couple of like grabby things. I don't know what their proper names are. I don't remember. There are a couple of these other kind of like articulated grabby things. Oh, crash barrier! You stand no chance against me. Yeah, but it's cool, but not vastly different to things that we've had in the past. There might be a use for this front plough that I haven't. I mean, it will be useful for ramming stuck vehicles. Be useful for Robot War style battles, but whoop. Don't hit that sign. I mean, not that the sign is really going to stop this. I don't think much stops this apart from a very steep hill. And even then we have the magical winch. Let's just go for it. I can just plough through whatever. Just throw mud up in the air. Yeah, the water. That's not going to stop me. Surely. We're actually not even all-wheel drive. Probably be helpful. Will burn through a lot of fuel. This sort of vehicle, of course. It always is. Always is going to. I say burn through a lot of fuel. Actually, it's only doing 7 litres when we're, I presume, rear-wheel drive? I'm kind of amazed that there was an option to turn this from all-wheel drive to anything other, let's face it. If we were to take a left here, because we went right the other time, and that takes us down to the water, so we hook a left with this. Turning circle, pretty good. It's a little, as with all of these, it's a little slow to kind of centre itself again when you've taken a corner. I quite like the little town. I mean, it is a very small town. There's another bison over here with what looks like repair kits on the back. I guess we keep following this around. Oh, there's a fuel station actually as well, so we can keep following this around, get some fuel. You know what, let's go play in the mud, because, I mean, tarmac's a bit too straightforward for this sort of a vehicle. We'll go play in the muddy puddle and see how this fares. It's not really a deep muddy puddle, is it? I mean, if that caused this any grief, it would be in trouble. If that caused this any sort of grief, it would be in trouble. Oh, we're clonking it on the barrier slightly. There we go. We'll deal with that one. Oh, try and straighten you up. It's a wiggly truck. Fuel station should be around this corner, I think. That's another truck access area. Some sort of off-roading part. I say some sort of off-roading part. I'm playing a big old off-roading. Oh, well, we're going into the petrol station a little bit soon. That sign. Out of the way. Yield. The sign yielded. That's for sure. I'm going to carry the sign with me. Ooh. Brakes. Takes a little while to slow it down. Takes a little while. As you can imagine, there's a lot of weight behind this. That's not... The signs, they'll damage your small vehicles. This is not much is going to slow this down, really. Oh, it's somewhere up there, I think. Oh, in fact, there it is. I spotted it. We don't really want to climb that. I mean, this is good and everything. I'm not sure the vertical cliff is quite doable for our vehicle tool, in fact. Maybe I'd be better off going back where that truck access was. There might be another way around the back. There's normally a road that kind of passes through an area, and we've got to hope that I can find it from somewhere. I'm now busy spinning the camera around. One of the things I always end up finding myself doing this when you're kind of driving along, you spin the camera around to see where to go, and end up, you're now not driving in a straight line because you're farting around with the camera and so on. Okay. you could probably do with push blade. Raise that up because that's getting caught on the floor. There we go. Yeah, I'm not quite sure the use of it outside of pushing stricken vehicles, but you can just ram it with a vehicle. This would ram something out of the way, no problem, without the pushing blade at the front. So, yeah, not sure on its exact purpose. Still a mean-looking machine, and if you want to do big Robot Wars battles with the off-road trucks, I would probably pick this one. Not going to lie, I would probably go for this one. Where are we going to find this watch point? I don't want to go that way there. It's very, very silly dangerous. So let's not go and do that. Straight up is also not likely to be clever. We're going to follow this round, I think, and hope that there is a way over that hill that is not as silly dangerous. Oh, might carry a bit too much speed down there. Are we going to turn? Are we going to get some grip? We're going to go around the corner. Yes, we are. I'm sure it can. I'm sure I will be able to roll this without too much trouble. However, I'm doing a bit silly things here with this, and it's staying fairly well. It is now getting miserable and dark. Aha! I spot a checkpoint, a watch point. I know where I know where I need to go. Trees! No, they're the solid trees. I was wondering if we could crash them, and we can't. We've got to investigate these things a little bit. There's a gap there that we can... I'm really not being very careful with this, and it doesn't matter. It is just pointed at a hill. We'll climb that. It's fine. We'll go for it. It's quite impressive. Again, I don't play this on hardcore mode and everything. This is a pretty damn good vehicle. This is a pretty damn good vehicle. Oh, I couldn't quite make that turn. Just don't leave the plough in the wrong place. The plough might be good for moving like trees and stuff out of the way if they're in a awkward place. This is going to be the last of the watchtowers. Bounce our way towards it and climb. Hey! The map has been explored. Has been, I say completed, not completed as in the objectives, but we have explored all of the map, which is part of that thing up on a hill. There we go. Yeah, these new maps are, I mean, they're good fun. They're good fun to drive around. They are not as ridiculously tough as you might expect. They're not full of mud. There's not too much horrendously slow going. There is, I mean, a big tarmac road loops around the outside of this. That tarmac road down there. There is more in the way of tarmac stuff out here. So yeah, if you want to try and drive heavily loaded trucks at any sort of speed on this game and risk wiggling and falling over, there's plenty of places to do that. There's still some nastier off-road bits, although nothing I've come across that was particularly daunting for, well, any of the vehicles, in fact. As far as would I recommend this DLC, it's certainly good fun. I think it's about £9. I don't know if it's on sale at the moment. It might be currently because it's just come out. It's around sort of £9–10 at the moment. The two maps they're good. Don't get me wrong. Although you might, and I might have hoped, might have expected perhaps a little bit more of a challenge in places. As I said, I've not really come across any road that was excessively nasty for a vehicle to deal with. It's good. You can make plenty of progress. Although I can't imagine it's going to take that long to complete. The new trucks, I love the Hummer. The Hummer's fantastic, but they're not vastly different to anything that we have seen before. If you enjoy Spintires, you're certainly going to get more fun out of this. You're certainly going to get another maps to play around with, and of course there is Steam Workshop support with this game, and I'm sure plenty of maps and mods are going to use assets from this, so it might be worth getting so that all of the extra mods and so on will work with it. I don't necessarily think that these stuff is 100% essential. If you're not a massive lover of Spintires, you're probably not going to find too much to change your mind when it comes to this DLC. There's not vast changes or new stuff. It's fun enough. It's fun enough, just perhaps not completely essential. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.